what we're looking at now is the way to set the restriction settings on the iPad. When you open up the iPad, you're going to go to the Settings button, and you tap on the icon, and what we're going to go to is General. When you click on the General tab, what you're going to see as you scroll through here is you're going to get down to a section that's entitled Restrictions. When you tap on the restrictions, it's by default off. And so we're going to enable the restrictions. When we enable the restrictions, it's going to prompt us to set a passcode immediately. So we have to set a restrictions passcode. It's very important to remember that this content cannot be recovered. So there is no password help for your restrictions passcode. So when you set this, you need to make sure you write it down so that you don't lose it and you have to then delete your whole device. So I'm going to just set mine to default to 1111, and it's going to prompt me to re-enter it, and it's 1111 for me right now. You can set it to whatever you would like. And below it gives you a menu of options on what settings you can use. Any of these things at the top that have the sliders here, you can turn those on or off. So you can turn off Safari, you can turn off the camera, and what these allow you to do is keep whoever has the iPad from using those functionality, those functions. And so if you have that you don't want them to be able to delete any apps, you can turn that off so they can't delete apps anymore. If you want to turn off in-app purchases, which is good if you have smaller children, you can do that. So those are all the options you can just straight turn off. As we go down, we can set content settings. And we're in the United States right now. So what we can do is we can go to music and podcasts, and I can turn off the explicit. So it won't let me have any playback of music or videos that's labeled as explicit content. This might not catch things that are on YouTube or any other video streaming services, but it will not allow you to play from iTunes any explicit content. As we go down, we can do the same thing for movies and TV shows. We can set the ratings level. So you notice here it's got a bunch of check marks. Well, I can set that to the lowest setting, and anything in red is going to be things that are turned off. And so if I only want to be able to go up to PG-13, I can just click the PG-13. It will allow PG-13 and anything below. Same goes for TV shows. These are the TV ratings. I want to set it to TV-14. It turns off anything that's rated above that. Books, I can limit that explicit content. Same thing, sampling, downloading, reading of books with that explicit content, I can turn that off. As far as Siri is concerned, explicit language, I can do that. And the web search content will turn off the ability to search the internet for those things. Same thing with apps. I can limit the age level that I use, so I can set it to 12 plus or whatever I would like. If I go down here to privacy, the privacy settings are for different things like sharing. So if I want to do location services, I can turn off the location services for various services, and I can make sure that it can't do the tracking my information. Turn off the microphone, photos. It's very important to remember that many apps will access your microphone or your photos, and so if you turn those things off, you won't be able to access the content from your photos or from your microphone. So if you have an app that will allow you to make a video by recording on the screen and recording your voice, you won't be able to do that if you turn off the microphone. They'd have to have the restrictions passcode to be able to turn that back on. So it's important that you remember that when considering turning these things off. Allowing changes. This is an important one. The account changes allow you to either log into or log out of iCloud and iTunes and your mail and your contacts and your calendars. And so if you're logged into a certain iTunes account and you don't want them to be able to change it to log into a separate account, you can turn off and not allow changes. Same thing with iCloud. Once again, very important to remember, this cannot be changed without the restrictions passcode. So if you sign into an account and you turn this on, there's no way to sign out without having the restrictions passcode. So you'll notice when I didn't allow changes over there on the left, this iCloud and messages and FaceTime has turned off. It will not allow me to. So if I click back into iCloud here, it won't let me. I'm trying to tap iCloud. It won't let me go in there and change anything, but if I allow changes, you'll notice that it turns back on because it will allow me changes now. So if you're not logged into iCloud or iMessage or FaceTime beforehand, then you won't be able to log in without that restrictions passcode. Same thing for the volume limit. If you don't allow changes, it'll automatically set that volume limit there. Multiplayer games you can turn off and adding friends. So that's a basic rundown of the restrictions you can turn on. So let's say, for example, you close out of this and you've got your restrictions passcode set and you want to go back in and someone tries to change things. So let's say you want to go in and turn off the restrictions. So you'll notice it's on right now. So if I go in here, it's going to prompt me to enter that before I can make any changes. So knowing that mine is 1111, I can turn that on and open it up, and then I can make my changes. I am going to disable my restrictions passcode right now so that I can go out, and now there are no changes made. So that's a basic rundown of the restrictions passcode and how it works.